Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today, we're going to review the Invicta 306027. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing the Tsukame 1628, and Gregor's wearing my Activa ACW 424. I just did a comparison video of these two square watches, so if you haven't seen the video yet, and a lot of you haven't, be sure to check it out. Newsflash, the Tsukame blows away the Activa. Grogu said that Princess Leia no longer has clone warts on her nose. I asked if Master Skywalker was able to cut them off with his lightsaber. He said no. Han Solo suggested that they freeze her clone warts off with carbonite instead. Before the freezing process started, Han Solo told Leia, "I love you." She said, "I knows." Alright, let's get this watch open. It comes in a box, not a clamshell. Lately, when I order Invictas, they come in these boxes now. I guess they're trying to save some money. When I go to my local Sam's Club, though, all the Invictas are in clamshells. So maybe it's mail order versus retail. But here it is. Not a bad looking watch. And I've enjoyed it so far. Another Invicta on my channel. The other day I wanted to check out one of their budget Activa models, but I didn't want to pay $5 shipping on a $7 watch, so I bought 2 more Activas and 2 more Invictas to reach $100 so I could get free shipping. This is the most expensive of the 5 at $37. This 3627 is of Invicta's ProDriver line, which features some of their more tasteful models, and this 3627 is indeed tasteful. This has a 12-hour ratcheting bezel that is a good choice because it can be used to track a second time zone without needing the fourth hand of a GMT, but can still be used as a timing bezel, as we can easily convert these numerals into minutes. Whereas the dual color of a GMT stands for AM versus PM, on a 12-hour bezel it is purely decorative. There are a total of 8 different colorways in this lineup. We have the 3619, which has a Pepsi bezel. Then we have the 3620, which has a Batman bezel. 3621, which has a Coke bezel, the 3622, which is yellow gold, the 3624, which is rose gold, the 3625, two-tone yellow, and 3626, two-tone rose. Most of these are available on the Invicta website. The watch is fairly big, but not big for an Invicta. It's 43 millimeters at the bezel, 52 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links, thankfully. It's 11.2 millimeters thick if you don't count the Cyclops, and I never do. Has a 22 millimeter lug width, which tapers down to 20 at the clasp, and weighs 141 grams on the supplied bracelet with 3 links removed. The bezel is 120 click unidirectional, and the action is rather good. Nice solid clicks. A little bit of back play, but not horrible. So happy with the bezel action. Then the bezel itself, it's an aluminum insert, and it's a Batman style, but man, that blue is such a dark blue, it's kind of hard to tell unless the light's shining directly on it. So I kind of wish the blue wasn't quite so navy, so you could see it a little bit better. And then we have the dial. The dial has a texture around the border, and it's kind of hard to see on the black dial, but it is a nice touch. Then we have the minute markers, and then we have the indices. We got teeth at the 12, batons at the 6 and the 9, dots everywhere else. We have the Invicta name and logo up top, and then it says water resistant 100 meter on the bottom, and then we have a hammerhead shark. Then we have the hands. We have a fence post minute hand, Mercedes hour hand, and then we have a unloomed second hand, and thankfully it doesn't have that Invicta counterbalance. I really do not like the Invicta logo counterbalance that you see on a lot of the watches. And then we have a date at the 3 with the Cyclops. The Cyclops does all right. It could magnify a little bit more, but at least it's centered. Then we have a signed screw down crown. Yes, the spec said it was a push pull, but no, it's a screw down. and it pops nicely. And then when you go to screw it back down, it catches right away. You don't feel like you're going to strip it, so that's always nice. And then we have the crystal. Invicta calls their crystals flame fusion, and they're supposed to be hardened. And I don't know how scratch resistant they are. I never keep my watches long enough to scratch them. And I've never done a scratch test on the Invicta Flame Fusion like I have on the Sterling Cristerna. Then we have the case. Case is nice. It's fairly big, but at least the lugs slope down. And it does say Invicta on the side. Supposedly Invicta kind of made a deal with Rolex a long time ago to put their name on the sides, because Rolex wasn't very happy with their homage watches. So that's one of the deals they made, was to put Invicta on the sides of their cases. A lot of people don't like that, but on the black, it doesn't look bad at all. On a polished chrome, on a polished steel one, though, it does kind of stand out. Then we have the case back. Case back is a screw down, and it's nice and thin, keeping the watch thin. Then it says all stainless steel. Then it says Singapore movement. Then 100 meters water resistant, and then gives the model number. It has Invicta in the middle. Now the movement says Singapore, but it's a PC32S, which is made by TMI, which is owned by Seiko. So this is technically a Seiko movement. So I don't, even though it was made in Singapore, it's really a Japanese movement. So I don't know why they are emphasizing Singapore, because it's very common knowledge that most Seiko movements are not made in Japan, even though they're Japanese movements. But oh well. So the PC32 is not the best movement in the world, but at least it's worlds better than the PC21, which is probably the movement I despise the most. The crown action's fairly loose. Then when you go to set it, you can have a minute hand jump, but if you're careful, sometimes you don't. So you can set it accurately. You just have to be very careful when you set it, unlike the PC21S, which jumps every single time. Then we have the bracelet. The bracelet, we can't say the J word, so we'll just call it J style. And we do have hollow end links, but at least they're inverted. And then the center links are polished, the outer links are brushed, and it looks nice. And not bad on the flex there. Some J-style bracelets really are jangly, but this one's not too bad. Then we have the clasp is pressed, but we do have 4 holes of micro adjust. But this is an Invicta, and their clasps are not push button, they're friction. And so when you go to open them, sometimes you gotta really yank them. And they can be really thumb diggers. And this one has a fold over. A lot of them don't have the fold over, but this one does. Doesn't really need the fold over, because Invicta clasps are always so tight, you're never going to have one come undone accidentally. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice and wears nice. It's a big watch, but once again, the lug sloped down, so it seems to fit nice and flat on my wrist. Plus the flat case back helps too. I removed 3 links, but then I moved it in 3 holes of micro adjust, so I could have probably removed a 4th link, no problem. So you can wear this 8.5-inch wrist, no problem. But I like it. It fits good, and the J-style bracelet articulates well. Here we are in the loom room. I wore this watch to the Fantastic Four the other night and was able to use it to tell that I was close enough to the end that I didn't need to sneak in a bathroom break while the action was at a standstill. As we speed up the time, we see a blue glow of what Invicta calls trittonite. The markers and the loom pip fade fairly quickly and are soon gone, but it is the hands that matter, and fortunately they are doing much better. They're not going to win any loom contest, but I've seen much worse, so at least they are usable. What I like about this watch, it looks and wears nice, it has good bezel action, the hand loom is at least usable, has 4 holes of micro adjust, and it has a nice and flat case back that lets this watch wear nice and flat on the wrist. What are my gripes and groans? The marker loom and loom pip are very weak compared to the hands. This friction clasp can be very difficult to open. The blue on the bezel is so dark you can hardly tell on this black watch. Do I recommend this watch? Yes. If you're looking for a 43mm quartz dive style watch that does not cost a lot of money, then this 3627 should do you quite nicely. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Invicta 3627, and I will be back with another review. I got a ton of watches to review. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, I'll leave a link to the Invicta website. I do not have an affiliate with them, so if you can find it anywhere else more affordable, be my guest. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. The person who said they were going to buy my Members Choice watch kind of ghosted me. So I don't know if he's going to buy it or not. So I might have to take it off of pending and put it back on sale. So there will not be a Members Choice vote this weekend. Bye.